Wow. We were also worried about the Iraqi resistance. Did you see it today? 6 hours to pull down the statue. There was more damage done at Woodstock 99 during Limp Bizkit's sound check, for crying out loud. You know, I thought it would resonate more, but it was 4 years ago, Woodstock 99. I thought it really hit home. But, you know, you live and you learn. Let me tell you. The New York Times reported this weekend that 28% of black males will be behind bars at some point in their life. And right now, 12% of all black men between the ages of 20 and 34 are behind bars, which obviously the question, Patrice, what are you doing here? When did you get out? No, I'm kidding. No. Patrice, what do you have to say about this fact?
It was funny.
It was kind of funny.
It was very funny.
What are you asking me?
I'm asking you, you know, what do you think about
why?
this? Yeah.
I know why. It's the war on drugs. That's America's way of, when they say it's a war on anything, it's really a war on a particular group, right? Like the RICO statute. That's the RICO, that was a war on the mob. So as soon as it, wait a minute.
That was a war against Puerto Ricans.
The Rico Suave?
Puerto Rico. Oh.
Sorry.
Do your prepared material, stupid.
Oh.
Wow. Now look at, wait a minute. I'm sorry. That was me. Now look, what I'm saying is this. It's because they're in there for drugs. That's all they're in there for, really. All of that group of men is in drugs, and then that's the people who are selling drugs, Puerto Ricans and young blacks. That's how they're making a little money, man.
Well, first of all, don't you think? Now I know he's going to jump all over this one, but don't you think that people say racism, which is what you're kind of implying, no?
Well, I'm trying. Look, I'm trying to not go there, but of course, it's a war on blacks and Puerto Rican kids. That's what the war is. That's who's going to jail.
I hate to agree with Suge, but there is definitely a racial component. Because if you look at the war on drugs, if you target street level dealers, you end up with a jail full of blacks and Puerto Ricans.
Absolutely.
And then you know they need white guys to rape, and that's why you have DWI laws.
But it's looking at it negative.
Yes, Mr. Taylor.
It's looking at it negative. Okay, 12% of black males are in jail, but think of the other 82 who are on the WB. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they do always focus on it negative. I mean, if 12, you know, you would think if 12% are in jail, think of all the women left over for the guys that aren't in jail.
It's all drugs, man. That's what it's that drug thing, man. Black guys ain't in jail for like kidnapping white girls and hanging them in basements and driving around in vans
there goes my weekend.
If you you look at colleges, right? I mean, look, when I was in college, I mean, you can't say black guys do more drugs than young white kids. When I was in college,
kids do more drugs.
Yeah, and when I was in college, you know, there were fraternities that were like the Medellin cartel, for Christ's sake, and you know, but there weren't a lot of buying busts going on, you know, in the dorm rooms.
White guys ain't got to worry until they start this.
But wait a minute. Well, okay, the drug thing is a big part of it, but you have to admit this.
It's the biggest part of it.
I wouldn't say that. But
what else are they in jail for?
There's a lot. You can't pretend your people don't have
robberies and nothing.
You can't pretend your people don't have a thug.
Embezzlement?
Shut up. You can't tell me your people don't have a thug. They worship a thug culture that includes going to jail.
That includes drugs. That's it.
It includes going to jail for a lot of things.
For what?
Thug behavior.
Oh, there's no crime called fuck behavior.
It's a double standard. Come on.
Don't kid me. Listen, how about this little fact, this little acorn? 25%, 10% of all state prisoners in the big states and 25% of all the federal prisoners are non-citizens. And nobody ever brings that up because it sounds like a racist thing to say, but that's the truth. Did that just stultify you guys?
What do you mean?
Yeah.
What's racist about it? Why does it sound racist?
Nothing's racist. It's a fact, but I'm saying it sounds racist.
So non-citizens come in, they're poor, and they tend to commit crime. Poor people tend to be the people who commit crime.
But I'm saying 1/4 are non-citizens.
I just think it's a double standard because white kids get a lot of things like warnings and double probation and things like that. Like white kids, they steal a car, that's joyriding. Black kids, they steal when that's, you know, a John Singleton movie or something. I don't know.
But there is, I mean, a huge percentage of the people in jail are there for these you know, nonsense drug offenses like pot, marijuana. Nobody should be in jail for marijuana.
That's what I said.
And look,
you shouldn't be. I mean,
you should be real. You go to jail. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Bobby.
Go ahead. No, you know what? Everybody's whipping it around. Nobody knows who the hell I am. Can I say one goddamn thing?
Folks, we'd like to
ladies and gentlemen, Robert Kelly.
Lockdown.
Folks, we'd like
to... Sorry about that.
Jesus. We'd like to introduce you to former rehabilitated rapist murderer Bob Kelly. Go ahead.
First of all, I stole a gumball machine. It wasn't rape and murder.
Rite of
But
passage.
the fact is that I took...
You did 7 years for stealing a gumball
Where
machine?
did 7 years come from? See what you started?
Where
Now
did
I'm in
you
jail
grow
for
up?
7
How long were you
years.
in jail?
I was in jail from 13 to 15, but like a month.
2 months, you liar.
Shut up, Colin. 13 to 15, but like for 2 months here, 3. Once you're a ward of the state, you can kick a mailbox and you go away again. You're owned by the state.
You should. What are you doing kicking mailboxes? People gotta get their mail.
Sometimes you get pissed off.
But also, you were a victim of the American system's bias against Samoans. And
First of all, let me just say, look, just because I have no
Let me enjoy
Let me
that.
say
That
one-
was really good.
it is sad.
Shut up, Jimmy Snooker.
You can't
That was
enjoy
really
it.
good.
First of all, I'm Irish, okay? I'm Irish. Contrary to what you say, just because I have no ass and I don't have bad skin, I'm Irish, okay? First of all, the lip and everything. But the thing is let me get back to the subject, the topic, you ass.
Really ate his balls.
Why
I
do I
really
have to be
enjoyed
on the
it.
show with him? Of any people, him.
Go ahead, Bobo.
They rehabilitated me. They put me in a drug program. They set me. They put me like they call it normalization. Okay, in settings where you don't feel like a criminal, and you start to become. Once you get responsibility, you start actually to take that responsibility and to become not normal again. And that, I mean, that's what they should do. Drug people, black people, whatever. They should. Why are you going to look at me like that?
I'm listening to you. Jesus
What
Christ,
they should
insecure.
do-
Finish your dumb speech.
What they should do is give them, rehabilitate them, put them in programs instead of jail and putting them in there and then locking them down. Because you know what happens?
Somewhere this deserves a clap. I know it. I don't know what he's saying, but he deserves it because he's passionate.
All right, look. So what is the point? Does anybody see, let's say it is all drugs, let's say it is, what is the solution? Because people go to jail, you have to admit it.
Well, because like he said, it's poor people.
I'm not saying why they go, I didn't say the cause, I say the solution.
Well, one of
Because you go to jail, what do you learn? How to fight, how to lift weight.
Stop looking to put little young black dudes and young Puerto Ricans in
So you
jail.
just
Stop
walk by
looking
them
for
when
it.
you want them to
What are we
walk
gonna
by?
do with
Stop
them?
looking to
Yo,
do
got
it.
that
It's easy to
red
do
top.
that on the street. Do
Got
it.
that red
It's
top.
easy- it's
What are
easy
you going to do if
do.
they break the law? We just say, hey, you're Puerto Rican, you're black.
Yeah,
so
well,
go ahead.
first of all, you need 4 ounces of coke or some mess like that.
Grams.
You get 15 years, 15 to 25
It's
years
illegal.
in jail. But that's keeping black people off the street. When it's 15 to 25 years, it should be a second. White people are doing the drugs. There's more white people doing the damn drugs.
You have to stop the recidivism. That's the main problem. People go in jail and they don't become rehabilitated. They come back out. They keep committing crimes.
Better criminals.
Take the take the gyms out. We don't need to create these giant monster bodybuilder convicts. You know what I mean? Once you start working out, you want to kick the crap out of somebody that used to pick on you. These guys come out. They got revenge on their mind.
All right, I hereby sentence you to 5 to 10 commercials. Do you leave out the balls to say that? We'll be right back.
Jon Stewart on an all-new Tough Crowd with Colin Quinn tomorrow night at 11:30, only on Comedy Central.
Well, we're going to try to talk about religion. It'll probably get back to race. Who the hell knows? But the Middle East, the place where there's the most static, everybody always goes, all you should do is pray at this point. But that's where the most prayer goes on, and it's the most violent place. So how do you keep your faith in God, Dave, during these times?
Well, being the last shaker, I think religion has a lot to do with what we were earlier talking about, which is prison, because people go to jail, and that's when they find this religious zeal. And I think if we just if we made things legal, that would kind of free up the prisons, like drugs, as we were talking about, and kiddie porn for myself. It would clear out the jails. We'd be left with like 2 Filipinos and Robert Blake, and it would be plenty of room for the Taliban. Something.
Yeah. Well, what do you guys think about that?
Well, I think with all these religions, people believe them so passionately, but now in most sort of open-minded societies, we think, well, they're all just man-made creations. Every religion has its good and its bad, but obviously, maybe one of them is right. You know what I mean? That's the scary part. Somebody maybe is right. Maybe it's these doomsday cult people. Maybe there are spaceships coming to get us, and maybe we're all screwed for not cutting our balls off in anticipation.
How about the Scientologist?
Yeah.
You know what, though? I mean, and I think none of us here, I mean, as you get older, especially this generation, nobody prays. And especially in America, nobody cares about religion anymore. When was the last time anybody went to church?
How dare you?
A lot of people do. There's a lot of deeply religious people
I went
out there.
on Christmas 2 years ago.
I don't know any. Do you know any?
No, well, we live right.
I'm not religious, dude.
We live right in the middle of Sodom and Gomorrah.
I mean, the only time I pray to God is if like I have sex with a girl without a condom or I'm doing a black college. That's the only time. Sorry.
I believe in science. That's what I believe in. I can't get into this religious stuff. I believe if you go against science, that's against God. I think God laid something down, and he's not up there minding everybody's business. I think if you go, like people say homosexuals against God, I don't think it's against science to me. Yeah. You know, if two guys aren't really supposed to have sex, because there's no point to it. There's no scientific point.
Nobody says homosexuals are against God. They're not.
A lot of people say that kind of stuff. Certain things are against God, but I don't think it is.
Every religion is basically, look, you know, I believe in spirituality, you know, like, but basically what that is every religion is the same. It has the same, they're not really, but just the way you interpret it. You can interpret anything.
You believe in, but there are a lot of people have very different beliefs. You look at the Jews; they have very different beliefs. They believe Barbra Streisand's worth $1,000 a ticket. Hey. That's very different from a lot of the other religions. The whole circumcision thing. You're circumcised, right? If I remember.
Oh, I think so. Yeah.
Now that's part of the Jewish faith. That's a part of it. Not every religion believes you have to, slice off your foreskin to get to heaven. That's a specific thing. The Catholics, look at the stuff we believe, right? I mean, we have the Virgin Mary. We have a whole religion based on a woman who really stuck to her story.
Hiding eggs.
Are you going to be able to use that tomorrow to sell it?
I think all religions. We got to go with what's in common with all religions. Like anything's possible with the help of lube, not God. Lube.
I just think, look, man, you do what's good for you, man. It's just you believe in what keeps you going. You know what I mean? I believe in something, but I can't say I believe in some white dude with a beard with a thunderball in his hand and walk around. And I just can't believe in that. But I believe in something because I still have that fear of something. Right. So I don't want to.
Well, you've never done drugs then, because I've seen that white dude.
Yeah, you got that fear of a white dude with a thunderbolt. As well, you should. Speaking of the Aryan Brotherhood, that's their little. Well, but the truth of the matter is, when I started this conversation off, I believe, unless I'm mistaken, was saying that all the violence right now from Northern Ireland, Middle East, it's all religiously based. So what do you think the problem is? Are people praying wrong?
No, you need
or does just every idiot use whatever excuse they can?
I think it's a drinking thing. Like in drinking, there's a thing called tolerance, and we should all have that in our religion. If you go past your tolerance, you're when to say when, you're gonna flip out and wake up the next day with lipstick around your balls and a fat girl who won't stop calling. You know what I mean? But a religious way.
I gotta stare at Dave like he's gonna make a serious point, but I know something's coming. I gotta be like this.
It's all about the laugh. Go ahead, heartfelt.
The matter is, all we're doing is, what do you call them?
Heartfelt. It was sarcastic. Yeah.
Look, the bottom line is this.
Jesus.
Why am I always in this position?
Isn't religion something for old people anyhow? I mean,
yes.
That's all they have after a while.
But also, people only bring up all the bad people in religion. Nobody ever talks about nuns working in Africa for 40 years.
Yeah, no.
About Mormons going in. There's a lot of, most religious people are good. They're better than non-religious people as far as their behavior.
Well, religion does make you, I mean, like Catholicism, it's basically the stabilizing force in South America, for example. I mean, it does make people good people sometimes.
Yeah.
But then the flip side is you have, like, these wars where the Islamic extremists believe that blowing us up is going to, put them into heaven, and then you have, like, George Bush believing Jesus wants us to get him back.
Yeah, if I can use drinking again as a analogy, religion.
Are you plugging Insomniac, stupid?
I'm just saying, drinking and politics, they don't go together like many boozes. You know, they shouldn't be mixed. When they're mixed, it ends badly. You know, you're going to end up on the floor throwing up blood with candy coming out of your ass.
Right. He means religion and politics. Yes, that was a cell phone on our show.
I still got it out. Thank you.
Look, we're the only show on television that can segue from big religion to big pussy. And that's coming up next.